Hey, while you in the first 5 seconds of the video, go ahead, like and subscribe.
What we out here to do is to teach the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who you are according to the Bible. Right. Have you ever heard about the Israelites? Okay, so check this out. What's your name, bro? Chris? Okay, so let me get the Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. So what I'm going to show you is that this Bible is your history book. If I was to ask you your race right now, what would you tell me? African American. If I was, what some people call you black too, what they call you colored, Negro, all that kind of stuff. Why are there so many names given to one person or one race? Because you see me as your brother, right? 1 minute we'll have a brother called black, 1 minute African American, 1 second a Negro, 1 minute a colored. Our ancestors, our elder people call themselves colored folk, right? So why is there so much confusion on who we are? What I'm going to show you is your father is so-called African American, right? So that means you will be from the mighty tribe of Judah. That's where you be from, the mighty tribe of Judah. Jesus Christ, if you look in that image down there, it's a depiction of what Jesus Christ, the greatest man that ever walked the earth, looked like. You are an Israelite according to the Bible, God's chosen people. We not black, we not African American, colored, Negro, none of that. We are the Israelites you read about in the Bible. But what you don't realize is you just fulfilled prophecy. When I asked you what your nationality was, you said African American. That's a derogatory term and a lie. Because Africa was named after a white man. America was named after a white man. Leo Scipios Africanus is where Africa get its name from. Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian map maker. Those are two white men. How can you as a man of color be the descendants of two white men? Don't make sense, right? Watch this, read.
This is the book of Isaiah.
Come back and build with us, bro.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
So God say an ox, a stubborn bull, but it knows who its owner is. It knows who it belongs to. Read.
And the ass, his master's crib.
And the donkey knows his home. It knows where it belongs to, where its land is at.
But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
Let's be vigilant, men. Let's be vigilant. But who?
But Israel.
If you look on that sign, today the children of Israel are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Those are the children of Israel today. So-called Latinos, so-called Indians, so-called Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. They are who?
But Israel.
We are the Israelites you read about in the Bible. So you just fulfilled prophecy and didn't know it. So God says, read it again from the top.
The ox knoweth his owner.
An ox knows its owner.
And the ass, his master's crib.
And the donkey knows his home. Because if I was to ask you, what's the motherland of our homeland, what would you tell me? Where do we because you know we came over here like this in chains, right? In slavery. Where did we come from? You don't know? Read it again from the top.
The ox knoweth his owner.
You just fulfilled prophecy again. The ox knows its owner, meaning it's God. We don't know who our God is. A lot of our people is lost in Islam. A lot of our people are lost in the chakras and stones and Rastafarian and smoking weed and all that. We lost in that. We don't know who we belong to. You belong to the only true living God. The God that created heaven and earth is who you belong to. You was made in his image. My brother, did you know that we was the Israelites? You got a second to build with your brother then? You know we family, right? We'll build with your brother for 2 minutes then. It's 2 minutes. Okay, check it out. So read it again.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So an ox knows his owner, meaning it's God. We don't know who our God is. We following everything around here, believing lies. Some of us believe, excuse me, step on this side. Some of us believe that this is our God. You know how many times we done asked little babies who this is? You know who they told us that was? Jesus. They say that this is God, this is Jesus. That's nowhere depicted in the Bible. The Bible said that Jesus Christ was a so-called black man with skin so dark it looked like he burned in a furnace. Turn around and look behind you. You see that brother right there? That's what the Bible says Jesus Christ looked like. Dark skin with the same hair you got on your head. Come down here and build with us, sis. We got men building up the community. So check this out, read.
And the ass, his master's crib.
A donkey knows his home. Our homeland is Israel. Did you know that, sis? Did you know that you was the Israelite according to the Bible, God's chosen people? A lot of us don't know that. So if I was the, what's your name? Angel, do you see us as your brothers? You see her as your sister? The family, right? A lot of us don't see it like that. That's why it be so easy for us to gun each other down in the streets, to steal from each other, to rob from each other, and won't think twice about it. Because we just look at each other like niggas. We just look at each other like the scum of the earth. We see these people as God, though. But anybody that look like us with dark skin, filthy, black, disgusting. That's what the world teaches us. Not even realizing the Bible said that God is black. Jesus Christ is black. So-called black men, according to the Bible. Because the Bible say we were made in the image of God, right, sis? Right? Do you see the black man as a God? Because we built different. We the strongest, we the fastest, we the smartest at everything, right? So check this out, Chris, read.
And the ass.
So read it from the top for our sister. So what we doing, if I was to ask you your father race, what would you tell me? African American? Your father is white? Okay, so check this out, read.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites that you read about in the Bible. And it says the ox knoweth his owner. So an ox knows who his owner is, who his God is, read.
And the ass, his master's crib.
And the donkey knows his home. Our homeland is Jerusalem. Read.
But Israel,
the 12 tribes of Israel, meaning the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, read.
Doth not know.
What?
Doth not know.
The Bible said we wouldn't know who we are in these last days. You just fulfilled that prophecy because you thought you were African American. You're not. According to the Bible, you're from the mighty tribe of Judah. You're a real Jew by blood. Not Jewish, a real Jew. Those people took our land, they took our Bible, and then they made boats to put us in slavery. You get that? So it says what?
But Israel doth not know.
The Israelites wouldn't know who they were in these last days. You know why? Give me Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. Hey, y'all come build with your brothers, man. We family. So check this out. Hey, can I ask y'all a question? Y'all see me as y'all brother? Huh? Y'all see me as y'all brother? Why do we look at brothers that look at like us as Opps these days? Because of what side of town he grew up on. Huh? They Opps. Why they Opps? And they look just like you though. And that's the problem that we have. We see each other as Opps, but the same blood in your veins run through the next black man's veins. Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4.
So why don't we know who we are? My sister, come close. So what we are here to do is to teach the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who we are according to the Bible. Read it again.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself.
So God is giving a prophecy right now. What's your name? Tamika. So God is giving a prophecy about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He said in the last days you wouldn't know who you are. We calling ourselves black, we calling ourselves niggas, we calling ourselves colored, we calling ourselves African, African American, hell, GDs, BDs, Stones, Vice Lords, Bloods, Crips. Why are we calling ourselves all these things when we one nation of people? Read.
And thou, even thyself.
So God is giving a prophecy. That's what separates this book from every other book on earth. The Quran couldn't stand next to the Bible because the Quran has no prophecies in it. The Bible is full of prophecies of our history. Read.
Shall this continue?
Read it again.
Shall this continue?
Read it from the top.
And thou.
So God says, you, Jeremiah,
even thyself,
you and your people,
shall discontinue.
What does it mean when something is discontinued? Huh? It's ended. Smart brother, I like that. It's ended. So God says in the future, Jeremiah, you and your people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, something is come build with us, bro. My brother right here with the hat, come build with us. What's your name? What's your name, bro? Bill. Emil? Bill, my name is Job. So what we out here doing is giving the greatest information on the planet. Like this, you see him as your brother? You see this as your sister? You see me as your brother? So what we bringing back is that true, sincere love according to the word of God. Because we don't see each other as brothers no more. When we see each other as, like I asked the brothers walking down the street, why do we see each other as Opps and we got the same family? We got the same bloodline. We only disconnected from a few generations because if we go back in time, I'm pretty sure your ancestors came over here coding and changed the same way mine did, right? So we came over here together, code and then changed on boats together. But now we look at each other as Opps. Why is that? Because watch what God said what happened.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
So like Chris just brought out, the word discontinue means end. So God says our heritage, meaning our customs, would end. Our customs are wearing our fringes, keeping the Sabbath day holy, not shaving our beard. Every feast of the Day of Atonement, we do a fast. That's where the so-called Muslims took our culture and started Ramadan. That comes from our history book in the Bible. The Bible says the world say this is our heritage. White man Jesus. That ain't in the Bible though. When you read the Bible, it says Christ had dark skin and hair like what you got on your head. So where do we get this white man Jesus from then? It's been lies taught to us because we was what?
Discontinue.
We was cut off from our God, cut off from each other, cut off from our customs, our heritage. Read.
Discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Because God gave us these customs. When you look at the world today, do you think we as a people are cursed in society? Be keeping a buck with me. It look like that. No matter where you go through, when you go to Chicago, you go to California, you go to Texas, you go to New York, who you gonna see in the slums? In poverty, at the bottom. You gonna see us, right? Why is that? Give me Deuteronomy 28, hold that. And we coming right back there. Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. So our heritage is to be at the top. Because, be honest with me, when it comes to sports, who dominated in all sports, in all aspects? I'm talking swimming, running, basketball, football, spelling bees. Who runs all of that? We do. We the smartest, the strongest, the fastest at everything. But why is it that we at the bottom of society right now? Because God prophesied something will happen. God is a real man, real person. I don't want to say man because he's more than a man. All the way up in the third heaven, he decided to create an earth and a special group of people. You are those special group of people. But while we at the bottom, watch what the Bible prophesied. This book was written thousands of years ago. Watch how I tell the future. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
So God told us Israelites, because our forefathers was the ones that built those pyramids, the palace of kings. We the ones that built those great monuments over there in Egypt when we was in slavery. In slavery in Egypt, we did that. So God brought us out of Egypt through Moses, and this is what Moses told us. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
When it says, but it shall come to pass, meaning something is going to happen in the future.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If. He says, if you will not listen, Bill, if you will not listen, Chris, like a father to a child. Meaning what? Y'all got kids? Huh? You don't got kids? You got kids? You got kids? Okay, so if you got sons or daughters. Okay, you got sons and 4 daughters. If you told your son, I want this house clean before I get home at 4 o'clock, and he say, F you, mom, I ain't doing ish. What happens next? He wake up, huh? Right, you can't even imagine. So imagine how God felt when he told us to, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, keep the Sabbath day holy, marry your women, raise your children under your roof. Imagine how God feels when he give us these commandments and we say, F you, God, we ain't doing none of that. How do you think God is going to feel? You think he going to get upset? Watch, read.
But it shall come to pass.
He says something is going to happen in the future.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you, my children, don't listen to me,
to observe, to do all.
It says to observe and what?
To observe, to do.
To do what? All the things written in this Bible, not just the 10 Commandments. He says if you don't listen to me and do what I tell you to do as my children, read.
To do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
What's going to happen to us in the future?
That all these curses.
All these what?
That all these curses.
When you just answer that, do you see us cursed as a people? I know we look beautiful, we strong, blessed, but keep it honest. You don't see this as a curse? Are people nodding off in the middle of the streets? You got babies dying from gunshots. Do y'all see that as a curse? God cursed us. He said, if you won't listen to me and do what I tell you to do, read that part again.
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
It's gonna come upon you. Because you gotta ask yourself, like, man, the white man dropped bombs over here. They push fentanyl into the community. They gunning Trayvon Martin. They gunning all these kids down. How are they still riding around in Lamborghinis living at the top of the world? Because you guys, child. Meaning what? If your son go out with his friend and they do something bad, hey, you take your little ass home. You get in the house so I can deal with you. Because why? Why are you gonna deal with your son? Because he's yours, right? And that's why God deals with us that way. It seems like every little thing we do, God putting his foot on our neck. Because we are his children and he wants us to do what he tells us to do. But we being big-headed, arrogant, thinking we the toughest people walking the earth, we say, F you, God, we ain't doing nothing.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.